The Iron Giant sounds like a pretty generic story. Human finds alien. Human then befriends alien. Intelligence service finds out. Hijinks ensues. Alien dies. And finally humanity is saved. But what makes Iron Giant different is how it can cover complex and, at times, depressing themes and events. An asteroid crashes from outer space and turns out to be a giant robot. The giant is discovered by a boy named Hogarth. Hogarth decided to teach the giant how to communicate and how to hide itself. Brad Bird covered the fact that the first impressions we gave could deeply influence the people around us. The citizens of Rockwell, the town where Hogarth lives, believe that the giant is a threat. But in reality, it's basically a lost child. Hogarth turns out to be far more mature and understanding than all the adults around him at Rockwell after learning of that fact, and teaches the giant that it can be whatever it wants to be. The giant's true purpose was initially as a weapon, but as it was electrocuted, it lost its memory, and thus became entirely different. With Hogarth's teachings, the giant turned to a new, peaceful life. Hogarth at the end of the story is the same as he was at the start, and in this case, that's a good thing. Hogarth significantly impacts the people around him, without he himself going through a massive change. He's adventurous, curious, and unafraid of the unfamiliar, unlike the other citizens of Rockwell. Here, Hogarth introduces the giant to Dean, who is a junkyard owner. Like the people of Rockwell, Dean was scared at first, but as he found out about the giant's true self and its relationship with Hogarth, Dean ended up befriending it. There's a scene where Hogarth and the giant come across the dead body of a deer who was killed by a hunter. Hogarth later explains to the giant about mortality. The giant, who has the mind of a child, is scared by that thought. But Hogarth explained that even though we'll die, our souls will live on. Kent Mansley, the CIA agent, finds out closer and closer to the existence of the giant. Here, Hogarth's persistence to protect the giant would shine, but Mansley was also keen on the fact that the giant existed and tried to break Hogarth. Until he did. He then later alerted the government and military. Hogarth and the giant would be placed under the custody of the American Army. That's when he accidentally activated the giant's defense protocol and almost killed him. Despite almost dying, and the US Army now trying to destroy the giant, Hogarth still sees its innocence. Hogarth desperately tries to deactivate the giant's defensive protocol with his emotions. Finally, Hogarth successfully deactivated the protocol. But the US government is still hell-bent on the giant's destruction and resorted to the usage of a nuclear weapon against the giant. The collateral damage, however, will also result in the destruction of Rockwell, but the giant willingly sacrificed itself to destroy the bomb and save the citizens of Rockwell, proving that a gun can choose not to be a gun. Hogarth returns to his normal daily life. The Iron Giant concludes with the citizens of Rockwell commemorating the giant with a statue in its honor. Rockwell has finally embraced its otherworldly visitor.